Alright, so in this video we're going to cover certain tenets of the God life that we spoke about previously, but just relating it more so to the intellect, because these are things that are quite, for me, they're quite logical, and also more of the kind of masculine things that we can talk about. So the first thing that we have is the truth, right? So the levels of truth. And where people go wrong when it comes to getting the key of intellect is that they see it as, I've just simply got to become knowledgeable because knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. And that was like the biggest lie that I'd ever been told, that I actually thought was the truth for a while. But what I realized after this was revealed to me by my mentor, who was an 8 to 9 figure earner, he made me understand that knowledge is not really power. Knowledge just gives you ego. But with the truth is that knowledge is not power and applied knowledge is, right? So the place that I was at was that I was not somebody who actually had a lot of power. I just had a lot of arrogance. And where you're arrogant, it means that you have that, what we call the know-it-all mindset, and that's the devil really that's coming after you. You have the know-it-all mindset, and you cannot allow new things to come in, which means that your learning has literally stopped, and you are no longer a great student. So in order to become somebody who has the highest level of truth, then you have to ascend through these levels. Level number 1 is what we call ignorance. That is a level that you have to get to first. Ignorance. It's a great level to be at, because that's where there is absence of truth and there is awareness from you that there is absence of truth. The next level we've got to get to is a level which we call the knowledge level. And so knowledge is only the second level of truth, and people seem to think that it's the pinnacle. So knowledge is the second level of truth, where now you have started to accumulate the truth, and through that accumulation of the truth, then you have the ability to go to the third level, which we call understanding. And understanding is the assimilation of truth. So if you think about it as the analogy of eating, right? A lot of people, they consume. They go into social media to consume entertainment, to consume knowledge, to consume. But nobody on social media is going there, like the minority people is going to think, how can I apply? How can I put this into practice? It's like people going to church, people going to mosque, and they're just taking all of the information, but they don't actually go and think, how can I go and practice this particular thing that they're saying? It's just, it makes me feel good. So that's where people stay stuck at, is knowledge, but they don't go to understanding. Understanding is where you actually meditate on what's being said. And you don't have the time and attention to meditate on everything, which is why it's so important that you decide to go all in with one thing and you meditate on the particular thing that is within the devotion area that you've given, with what you've committed to, and you meditate on that. And through meditating on that, now you're probably even going to want to take it to a different level of understanding, which is where you've simply made things become simple through teaching another person. Like right now with what I'm doing for you guys, I'm teaching you these concepts, which is allowing me to make it so simple for me. And when something becomes simple for you, it gives you clarity and certainty. And when you have clarity and certainty together, those emotional states will allow you to become someone who is more open to taking massive action. But through uncertainty, this is where that fear and that horrible feeling comes in of anxiety, which prevents people from taking action because it makes them freeze. So the opposite is where you have certainty, clarity, and now you take massive action. And once you start taking massive action, that's when you become someone who is now operating from the highest level of truth, which is wisdom. Because wisdom is the application of truth. That's where you want to be at with the key of intellect. You want to be at wisdom. Ask yourself, how can I get to wisdom? Because when you get to wisdom, that's when you become attractive towards financial success. You know, but the people who repel financial success are the people who chase it. The people who have it in abundance, just go and see the commonalities of those people. They don't run to it. Money runs to them. And that's because they have a higher level of wisdom in those particular areas of truth, which is the high income skill sets. So that's the 4 levels of truth. Then we have the 4 levels of value, right? So the 4 levels of value, the way that it works is you have the lowest level of value, which is implementation. Then it goes to what we call unification. Then it goes to communication. And then it's to what we call imagination, right? And so there's different resources at every different level. And if you're going into an opportunity and you find that you're having to get good at certain things which are only implementation, then you know that that's probably not the opportunity where I have longevity in that, in being able to become someone who is able to maximize the returns that I can get, because you're only being paid for your muscles. That's the lowest resource. And the highest resource that you can be paid for, the highest resources, one is your mouth, so you can speak from your heart to another person's heart through communication. And then when it comes to the pinnacle, is where you can use the two resources of your money, and you can use your mind. If there is an opportunity where you can use your money and your mind together in harmony, that is what you want to go into. So stop thinking about how can I get paid based on the hard work that I can put in with my muscles. You want to think, how can I get paid the maximum with my mind and my money? Now, you might not get there at the very beginning, because in every opportunity to start out with, you're going to be an employee, then self-employed. That's just how it works at every opportunity. If somebody says you can become an investor from the beginning and you only have like, a few £100 or a few thousand, then you're going to be gambling. So in every opportunity, you're going to start out majority of the time through getting the skill set in implementation. But then if there is ascension towards the higher levels in a shorter space of time, then that's how you know that there is so much value that you can gain and also that you can provide. So those are the 4 levels of value. And then we have the 4 levels of financial success, which kind of is the knock-on effect of you being someone who is implementing the 4 levels of truth and the 4 levels of value. Now with the 4 levels of financial success, we have the financial stability, financial security, financial independence, and then financial freedom. So with the financial stability, it's around about £1,000 to £2,000 per month. But when it goes all the way to financial freedom, it's literally 10 times more than that. And so if you're operating from wisdom, if you're operating from imagination, then with the 4 levels of value, 4 levels of financial success, you get to experience what we call financial freedom. That's where you're earning £10,000 or £20,000 per month. And that's the lowest level of financial freedom, because there's levels of financial freedom that go all the way to millions and billions a month. And every level is just 10 times more. That's how it ascends. So yeah, if you want to learn a little bit more about the levels of financial success, truth, and also with the levels of value, I would watch the video on the 9 tenets again, because that's where I broke it down in a little bit more detail. But this is just a little bit of a reminder to bring it all back together with the keys of intellect and what you want to be focusing on going forwards, when also helping you to become a little bit more logical with coming up with what it is that you're going to go into and where you're going to go all in. So yeah, thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next one as well.